Take your time. I remember in let me get this right. It was maybe 2014 or 2013, right? The Super Bowl where the Harbaugh brothers faced off in the Superdome, where the Ravens ultimately beat the 49ers. And my father was aging, old white guy, obviously. And he started to set in a little bit with the dementia. And, didn't know a lot about Beyonce. Knew she was married to Jay-Z, whatever. We watched the halftime show, which was spellbinding. Just
yeah, it was great.
Beyonce blew me away. And my father, after the performance, just looked at me, said quietly, "That Jay-Z, he's a good guy, right?" I said, "Yeah, he's awesome." Like, my father fell fast for Beyonce right then and there. Like, he wanted Beyonce in good hands. Like, he just like, and that was the type of performance that she put forth that Super Bowl. You and I were just talking before we came back from break. The Michael Jackson Super Bowl, I think that was in Pasadena when the Cowboys beat the Bills. Prince was up there.
Yeah.
Some of your other favorites?
Aerosmith NSYNC is up there for me. U2 after 9/11.
Oh, yes.
Is up there for me. Bruno is up there for me. Yeah.
So last night, a lot of people, and I can proudly say, really, I think maybe because the Eagles, it was their Super Bowl where I wasn't too dialed in with social media. I would check once in a while, but I was kind of really focused on the game and what was going on. But I have not heard great things about reviews from Kendrick Lamar. I've told you I wanted to really like it more than I did, and I know there were a ton of Easter eggs in there.
Oh yeah,
like
I'm still going to be watching more breakdowns today to try to find some of them.
So what? Here's my question. Let's just go through some stuff. What did Drake do to piss this guy off this much?
Well, he started a rap, he started a beef. He started a rap battle.
Drake started it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you also you have to understand, if you believe Kendrick, Drake is also like a shady, terrible person, and Kendrick's just exposing him.
And so when he says a minor, is that like, is he getting on Drake for having sex with minors?
Have you listened to that whole song, Pete?
I have, but just help me out.
The song "Not Like Us," which just won 5 Grammys, Zach.
Yeah.
That song is almost 6 minutes long. And the whole song is just calling Drake a pedophile. The whole song. He says the word pedophile in the song. He didn't say it last night during the halftime performance. He censored it a little bit. But he had the Superdome full of humans, as well as many at home. He took the mic away, and the Superdome yelled, "A minor." It is. And this is, by the way, the most surface level interpretation of what Kendrick did. It actually goes deeper. But at its surface and the game over lights at the very end, he just concluded a year-long, diss.
Annihilation.
That has never, ever happened in rap. Like, this is like the pinnacle of rap music history in terms of like a diss track, beef. Like, this is.
I remember like Nas and Jay-Z with like the Ether track. This was like maybe before your time. Like, it would last like a couple months.
And going back to the 90s with Ice Cube doing No Vaseline about Easy E. Like, this is a storied part. And by the way, I need people to know I am not like a hip hop person. I don't listen to a lot of hip hop in my spare time. It's not my go-to, but I know enough to know. Like, and I respect Kendrick enough. Like, he's one that I actually will listen to. To say like this was epic. Like, if you don't understand that the chain he was wearing with the A minor, even like the American flag, Drake is Canadian. Even having Serena Williams out there, not only because she's one of the greatest athletes of all time at the Super Bowl, but because she's Drake's ex. All of those things. It was just an abs, and he's smirking and beaming, smiling at the camera at the end. Because on the biggest stage in American culture, he just finished it.
Did the NFL drop the ball by allowing their halftime entertainment to be the knockout punch for Kendrick Lamar?
No, why? Because okay.
It wasn't. Look, you could say because it was quite as inclusive.
Okay, but do we think The Who was like super inclusive of Black and Latino communities? Like, what are we talking about? Like music transcends barriers and culture and socioeconomic, like, and I know, I'll just put it this way. Before I was in this job, I was working at a church, and I worked with college kids and teenagers, mostly white. And I can tell you every single one of them knew every single word to not like us. Okay. It transcends. I think there's a generational gap here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these people that didn't enjoy it.
Well, that's me. I can truly acknowledge, and I'm okay with it. Like that halftime performance. And it's unfortunate because I was raised on hip hop. That wasn't necessarily for me, which is totally cool.
But that's totally
cool.
Every year it's not for somebody. Like again, The Who misses a large demographic of people that watch the NFL. I love U2. I was raised on classic rock. Like I love U2. U2 misses a lot of NFL fans. I still want to know,
and Zach Burke, you can chime in if you want. I don't know if we can get his mic up. A couple minutes left here. Why is he so pissed at Drake? Like what happened that got him so like? These are extreme lengths we're going to.
Okay, you want to start back from the beginning? It's been like this has been something that I think Kendrick has felt like, for lack of a better term, and I'm not speaking for him, obviously, but a general disrespect from Drake for years. This whole thing started from, I mean, the most recent iteration of it, from a Drake and J. Cole song where they both decided, hey, let's just kind of sneak diss Kendrick while we're in here. And Kendrick was like, no. And you want to do that? Fine.
Can you tell me what the negative thing they said about Kendrick, or do you?
Or
is it that nondescript? It's just they shouldn't have messed with.
There's a lot of things that go into it, and there was a time, man, when it was going on that I could have laid it all out for you, but it had just something to do in general. I know that like for Kendrick, it's more than of just Drake being like a creepy kind of guy. He feels like he's a culture vulture as a Canadian, of where he'll go to Atlanta and he'll still like the Atlanta sound. He'll go to like, California and try to steal that sound. Like he's not original. Right. He just does.
Whereas Kendrick is a Dr. Dre discovered Compton kid, who's truly like embodies what I think rap has been about for 30 years.
Yeah. Drake's like
he feels like
from Degrassi.
Yeah. He feels like just rides the wave to be whatever's popular.
Yeah. And I still can't, like, did he, like, I don't want to say like anything bad, but what was he, banging his mom or something? Like,
no,
why is
but here's the thing, but that's hip hop beef in general. Like, what did Ja Rule do besides mention Eminem's daughter in a song?
Well,
I mean, honestly though, like
last year, I forget,
maybe more than that.
You will remember. I don't remember. Kendrick had put out the first Drake diss.
Euphoria.
Yes.
That song was I like that more.
Which was another like nudge at even in the title because
and Drake immediately responded. And so it was one of the things when you elevate and respond, Kendrick then took it to
here's
DEFCON.
Here's one thing I have for both of you guys, and again, I promise we'll wrap up soon. Drake has we have not heard or seen from Drake like.
He has sued Universal.
Have you seen? Yeah, no, he sued the labels.
That's why Kendrick made the joke last night where he said, "I want to play their favorite song, but they like to sue."
Oh,
and they tease not like us halfway through, and then at the end,
that's the thing. Drake couldn't beat him in the music, so like he was defamation of character and stuff is what he sued. How do you have a rap beef and sue somebody for defamation of character?
Yeah, that's like
well, he's got to because he like the pedophile stuff. Maybe he feels like maybe he is. I have no clue.
No, that's fine, but it just feels like that Simpsons gif of no, stop, he's already dead, and that just keeps happening.
Yeah. And I'll just say this too, Pete. Like going back to this, it's not for everybody. Like I loved you were talking about Harrison Ford, Unity stuff. I loved that Kendrick, by the way, has won a Pulitzer.
Yeah.
So I saw some people saying, "Look at Kendrick wasting the biggest stage of his career." I'm like, the man has won a Pulitzer. Calm down. Like he has had a massive stage for not like us has 1 billion streams and just won the Grammy. Like he's fine. But
Kendrick's a legend, dude.
The American imagery that he brought to it with Sam Jackson, with the dancers, red, white, and blue, which also there's gang imagery involved in that as well. But as if to represent and say like, hey, this culture, this Compton, hip hop, California culture that I represent is America. as much as Harrison Ford driving a Jeep is America.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really liked it.
I'll get you.
And there's
I'll
some
tell you what, Swingler, I got chills.
and there's some and there's some like buck the system, like President Trump's in the room, so let's show him who we are. I mean, there's some rebellion in that imagery that Kendrick was doing, but it is still to say like, hey, wake up, like this is part of who America is. And I loved that piece of it too.
A little bit of grit here.
Did.
On a Monday after the Super Bowl,
Let's go.
baby.
Let's
All
go.
right. Great way to wrap it up.
And
thanks to Zach and Scotty. And
it didn't have to be your thing. That's the other thing. Like, everyone's like, if you didn't like it, that's fine.
Dude,
if you don't like rap music, that's fine. But it was a good performance.
And that's, I'm an example of that. Like, I just wanted to understand a little bit more about it. I was not like, oh, this sucks. You know, I wasn't like that at all. I was like, man, I kind of, you know, I didn't quite as understand it. Because I know from following music, like I always have, like, and I knew there were the Easter eggs in there, but look at me. Of course I didn't understand.
Serena dancing on the grave of her ex.
Serena Crip-Walken she looked
on the grave of her ex.
And by the way, she looks unbelievable and she was dancing her ass off. I was very impressed. And that was neat to be like, oh, that's Serena. I was like, but I will say, I was like, when SZA came out, I didn't know who that was. So I'm old. I know, sorry. Okay. That's it for the Pete Souza Show. I'll be doing my hip hop homework and we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to Mosley and Slovacics. See you.